There is so much misinformation on the topic of narcissism. And these so-called experts they instill fear in you. They make you scared. They make you not see that it's very simple to deal with a narcissist. It's very simple to see through the veil and understand what's really going on. These experts confuse the situation so much. They have you digesting content, watching their videos, reading some books, and they'll have you all thinking that you're the narcissist and you're an empath. They'll have you confused, you know? They make this so confusing. It's almost like they create a mythological beast, right? Like the narcissist is some mythological beast, right? That, you know, that is uncontrollable, that you can't beat. This is what they instill in your mind, like you've lost. And they do this on purpose. They do this on purpose to keep you bound. They don't want your recovery. They don't want your recovery. They don't want you to get better. They want you to keep you stuck. You see how narcissists, you know, it's either they're doing this on purpose, these so-called experts, and they're breadcrumbing you, right? And drip feeding you information, right? So you don't heal and you still need them, right? So they keep you there, right? Or it's either they don't understand themselves, right? Or, just for example, there's so many people that have studied psychology and have degrees and all of these qualifications, but have never lived through an experience like you have. You're more of an expert than these so-called experts. And I'm telling you that they're making it so confusing and so messed up, right? Like you're dealing like with a mythological beast, that many of you have probably, or if you may even still do that, you actually go to self-proclaimed narcissists themselves to try and garner some insight into what is really going on with this decrepit, dusty weirdo species that the narcissists that are involved in your life are, right? They actually, you see, and it's actually these so-called experts actually push you in the wrong direction. So you start actually trying to get help from people who are narcissists, you know, trying to get some insight from people who are narcissists. You know, one thing this commonly talked about in the narcissistic community, oh, the narcissist is grandiose. Oh, the narcissist is full of themselves, you know, or, you know, and this is so untrue, right? They could be so-called inverted commas, the most attractive, beautiful, handsome, whatever type of narcissist, you know what I'm saying, right? And still, right, you have to understand that they're not full of themselves, right? And this is just the topic of narcissists are full of themselves, because this is what they paint to you in these videos, right? I've been there, right? When I was looking for answers, right? Trying to find answers. There were these content creators or books that I read didn't give me the answers that I needed to hear. These so-called experts didn't give me the answers that I needed to hear. And this was some years back. So there are some good channels out there. There are some good channels out there too now. But at the time when I was doing this, there was nothing, right? And just on the topic of, you know, narcissists are full of themselves, right? This is how they paint the narcissist to you, right? The narcissist is full of themselves. They look down at you, this, that, the other. When really, the narcissist has a fragile sense of self, right? The narcissist has a real fragile sense of self, okay? They're constantly comparing themselves to others. They're constantly in competition with everyone and you, right? And they have a fragile sense of self, and they never feel complete. So I don't know why they make out to you that the narcissist is full of themselves. They love themselves. The narcissist doesn't love themselves. They feel inferior. They suffer with an inferiority complex, right? Have I ever heard anyone discuss the topic of the narcissist suffering with an inferiority complex? Part of the reason why you went through the abuse that you went through was because the narcissist that was involved in your life felt inferior to you. You know, they could have had a better job. They could have earned more money. They could have drove a nicer car. They could have had a bigger house. But I'm telling you, you going out there and you know, putting your money together and getting a new car, a second-hand car, or you going out there and working hard in your job, you know, you being the person that you are made them feel inferior to you because they're constantly comparing themselves. The difference with you as an empath is you don't really compare yourself to others. You know, social media can try and make that drift in your mind, but at the core of who you are, you're quite complete and content with who you are, right? But these narcissists you know, they felt inferior to you the whole time. They knew you was a good person, right? They knew you was a good person, you know? And, you know, the thing about this often confused as well is, you know, they talk about the empath is a codependent, or the empath appeases the narcissist, right? They talk about this, you know, the empath appeases the narcissist, you know, and this is so far from the truth, right? Really, what was happening, you wasn't, you know, what's the right description? You wasn't people pleasing the narcissist. That's the description. They make out the empath is a people pleaser and you're trying to appease the narcissist, right? And that doesn't make you feel very nice about yourself. You know, when you hear some expert telling you that you were people pleasing, this, that, the other, right? And you wasn't people pleasing, was you? No, you was in a relationship with a narcissist, right? And you thought they were on the same page. So naturally, like you do as the person that you are and the individual that you are, you like to be nice to people and you treat them with respect and decency. You wasn't people pleasing. You was doing your best by a person who you thought was on the same page, right? And really, it was actually the narcissist the whole time that was deceiving you, tricking you, mirroring you, right? The whole time, mirroring you to make you like them. They knew you wouldn't like them if they showed you who they really was. So they pretended to be something else to make you like them. You know? So this isn't talked about, how the narcissist does this. These so-called self-proclaimed narcissist experts don't come around and tell you that they, you know, they try to make you like them, you know. Not that I've heard of anyway, you know. And, you know, it's just spread amongst the content. Like I said, there are some good content creators out there, right? There are some people doing good work. But a lot of them try to instill fear in you. It's a fear tactic. They make you have fear so you don't heal. Now, I don't know if these so-called experts are actually narcissists themselves. I don't know. I don't know them personally. I haven't been in an interaction with them. I don't know them personally. But all I'm saying is they're drip feeding you information and not giving you things that you need to actually heal and recover, right? You know, they say narcissists are unemotional. They're not emotionally available. When really, the narcissist is one of the most emotional creatures on this planet, right? And you could do something so minute, right? Like there's so many things that you've done in that relationship, right? I'm telling you, you 100%, you done things, right? Just you being you, living your life, you done regular things, and you speaking your truth or whatever, cause them narcissistic injuries. So much so that these narcissists that are involved in your life got emotionally hurt, emotionally damaged, didn't bring it to your attention like someone who's full of themselves would do. Someone who's confident and full of themselves would bring something to your attention and say, hold on, you disrespected me or you made me feel a certain way. They didn't do that to you, right? And half of you, many of you, probably majority of you that have gone through a discard, right, or a ghosting or something of that nature is actually down to something that you did or done. Please, I'm not trying to make you feel responsible like it's your fault. I'm saying that you've done something insignificant towards the narcissist that you thought held no weight. And this narcissist involved in your life caught feelings, got very emotional. And that's what I'm saying. They are very emotional. Otherwise, they wouldn't get narcissistic injuries. You know, they wouldn't get narcissistic injuries. So I don't understand why these experts, you know, I don't know if some of them might have qualifications. Some of them might have so-called lived through the experience. I don't truly know. But to me, they're not giving you the tools that you need to actually heal, you know. Another thing is they always look at this situation as a personality disorder. So it kind of leads you, as a caring empath that you are, when you're confronted with the person you love and care about, whether it's a friend, family member, colleague, romantic partner, associate, you're led to the feeling that this person that you deeply care about or have a connection to they're sick, right? So your savior empath streak kicks in, right? And thinks that you can fix them somehow, or thinks if you go to therapy or you give them medication or something like this, that it will help them and ease them. Like, this is what these so-called experts are in. I don't know if they actually know this to be true, right? Or they think this is true, or this is their level, but they think that they kind of display that narcissists is a personality disorder and it's part of a cluster B spectrum. And really, it's a lot deeper than all of that. It's a lot deeper than all of that. You know, from my perspective, right? And this is what I'm saying. They tell you as well that narcissists are created in childhood when it's not actually factually proven. It's not factually proven that narcissists are created in childhood, right? And that makes you feel sorry for them as well, right? So on top of you being hurt, gaslit, manipulated, devalued, all of the abuse that you went through, cheated on, whatever, you're having to deal with the fact that you think this person that you cared about, whether it was a friend, family member, colleague, romantic partner, associate, whoever this narcissist was in your life, you have in your mind that this person is sick, right? And perhaps therapy or medication can help them. You have in their mind that they had a bad childhood, right? So you start feeling sorry for them. And that's the last thing that you need to do. That keeps you bound. This is what I'm talking about. The tools they're giving you are keeping you bound to this parasite, dusty, weirdo narcissist that actually, you know, there's so many people out there that have had traumatic childhoods, right? That have had neglect and horrible things happen in their childhood, and they grow up and they become campaigners or advocates, or they just, you know, blossom in life, and they don't let this experience they had as a child turn them into a narcissist, right? And it's even proven, so if you want to go back down to the curriculum of the psychology, it's even proven in psychology that narcissists, it's not proven if narcissists are born that way or made that way, or made through childhood, right? So it's not proven. Same with a psychopath. They still don't know. They have not got the answers. Scientific research, medical science, or whatever hasn't caught up to what is really going on with these parasites, right? And all I'm saying to you is, to cut it down to basics, it's on either end of a battery, right? The laws of the universe. There's positive and negative energy out there. Some call it God, some call it the devil, some call it positive, some call it negative. And I'm telling you, you know this exists because if you go into a room full of negative people, you can feel that energy, right? You can feel that negativity. If you go into a room full of loving, kind, positive people, you'll feel that energy. You'll pick up on that energy. Especially you being an empath that you are, you'll feel the vibe, right? And so that's what I'm saying. Some call God, devil, whatever. But I'm telling you that these narcissists that are involved in your life are consumed with negativity, negative forces, dark forces, the devil, whatever you want to call it. They are riddled with this energy or these devils or whatever, these entities or whatever you want to call it, right? They are, and from my perspective, I think they're born this way. I think that, if you look on a brain scan, their brain has more dark grey matter on the prefrontal cortex of their brain, right? And I'm not telling you that you need to go and take the narcissist involved in your life for a brain scan. I'm saying that when you look on a brain scan, you can see that there's something different with them, right? In their brains, right? But it's a lot deeper than that, It's a lot deeper than that. So, who knows? They didn't have a brain scan when they were born, Were they structured this way, Think about it. There's things like brain scans out there. Why haven't they proven yet whether narcissists are born that way or made through childhood? They still can't catch on. They've got things like brain scans. They've got all of this scientific research. They still cannot definitively prove it and make it a law, right? Okay? So I'm telling you, just watch out for these so-called experts. Like I said, there are some good ones out there nowadays. When I was going through my grief, I didn't find anyone or any channel or anyone to assist me. To be honest, it just scared me, right? And that's why for some of you that are at the beginning of your journey, stumbling on the topic of narcissism, awakening to narcissism, it can scare you, It can scare you, and it can actually make you, when you're digesting this content, it can have you believing that you're the narcissist with how complicated they make it. When really, if you tried your best by a person, you were loyal to a person, you were loving to a person, you tried your best by your current potential, you sympathized or empathized with their pains. And what does that mean? You put yourself in their shoes. You didn't want to cause them harm because you knew how that would feel if it happened to you. That's you being an empath. You might have been unawakened, but that's what you did, right? So if you know you've done your best by your potential at the time, then it's highly likely that you're an empath, right? And the thing that no one touches on is the fact that everyone talks about narcissistic supply, but no one talks about the supply that an empath can give, right? And these self-proclaimed narcissists talk about, that narcissists can be together or psychopaths can be together and supply is just supply. That's how they paint it to you. That supply is just supply. And if that was the case, why are they like flies on shit around empaths or moths at light? They can't leave the empath alone. So many of you gone through stalking. So many of you gone through this abuse. Even after you get ghosted or discarded, they still try and provoke you or bait you and do all these things. They never let go, right? You have to understand it's not often talked about, right? Because they want to make you scared. But it's the fact that these narcissists can't actually get over you, right? And it's not often talked about. And I have a playlist dedicated to that. So if you want to check that out. But they don't get over you as an empath or a chosen one that you are. They don't get over you. So please stop believing these scare tactics that these I don't know if they're narcissist expert, like whatever these so-called experts are. Probably some of them are narcissists. They've got a motive and they're drip feeding you information so you don't really recover, right? you don't really recover. You know, they have you in a state of mind where, you know, you think the narcissist has moved on with a new supply and they're fine, you know, and they're living life. You know, they don't talk about how they talk about how the empath is a codependent, but they don't talk about how the narcissist is a codependent upon the supply source that you gave, right? And they become accustomed to the supply source that you gave. And some of you have been in long relationships. It doesn't really matter, but the impact you make through the relationship time that you was with this narcissist, they won't find another you. It's not talked about how narcissists only rarely come across empaths, like once in a lifetime. So when you understand the significance of coming across an empath to a narcissist, that gives you clarity. That gives you closure. That makes you know your value. These channels, these experts, these books don't give you value. They make you feel valueless. They make you feel like you're unworthy. They don't give you the tools. And I'm telling you, watch out for it. They use fear tactics to bait you, right? They try and scare you. They use all of their jargon and all of their scientific talk to confuse you, to mind boggle you. And do you know how many people I've spoken to in one-to-one sessions that have actually thought that they are a narcissist? You know, they've actually thought they're a narcissist. They've gone through abuse. They've told me about their abuse. They've told me the things they went through. And they're confused whether they're a narcissist or not. You know, and it's very simple to answer that question. If any of you think you're a narcissist, right, it's very, very simple. If you're contemplating, are you a narcissist or not, you're not a narcissist. It's as simple as that. Because narcissists don't contemplate, are they a narcissist or not? They don't care like that to contemplate whether they're a narcissist or not. Like, you don't want to be a narcissist. Like, you're thinking it through. You're thinking, like, am I a narcissist? Am I not? Am I not? I know not all of you are thinking that, but many people do think that, right? And if you're thinking that, you're not a narcissist. So just understand, you know, they display this information like narcissists are full of themselves when really they have a fragile sense of self. They make out narcissists can move on to other suppliers and they forget about you, and that puts fear in you. That makes you worried. That makes you concerned, when really they don't get over the empath because they only meet one empath in their lifetime. They make out narcissists are unemotional when really they're very emotional, and you can inflict injuries in them from minor things that you've done with no intentions of actually harming them, just regular things that you do with your day. You know, they're in constant competition with you. You know, they have an inferiority complex. You know, even if they've got more than you, they still feel inferior to you. They felt inferior to you the whole relationship and more. You have to understand that many of you that have gone through a discard, reverse discard, that it's actually a repercussion, a reaction to something you did or done. And this is their way of venting. You know, if someone was full of themselves, like I said, they would bring it to your attention, you know. So please understand that these experts are trying to make you scared. They're painting this dusty weirdo narcissist. They're nothing more than a dusty weirdo, right? They're nothing more. They're just a dusty weirdo. And they're trying to make it out to be this mythological, confusing beast, when really they're consumed with negative energy, negative spirits, negative entities, devil. You know, they're the opposite of light. They're darkness. You know, it's very simple what they are. You know, it's like night and day, you know, light and dark. They are the opposite. They are disgusting. You know, what pleases them is the opposite of what pleases you. You know, they're messed up in their head. It's in their circuitry. It's in their brain. It's in their DNA. From my analysis, I think they're destined to be this way, and they've been chosen to be this way. And I think that you, as an empath that you are, have been chosen to have a beautiful heart, a beautiful soul, a beautiful aura, a beautiful, 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 you know, magnetic kind of field around you that makes people feel comfortable, you know, and safe, you know. And these creatures are the complete opposite of you. You know, not enough not enough emphasis is given and the power is given to the empath through these so-called expert narcissist channels and so-called expert books. Not enough support is given. Like I said, there are some good channels out there nowadays, but there's many counterfeits and fakes. So just keep vigilant. Just watch out. You know, they're trying to scare you. Look out for the scare tactic on these videos that you click or these books that you read. They try to scare you because it's a psychological warfare on you that if you make someone feel scared, you keep them bound. And from my analysis, it seems to me that if these lot are so established in their field and so they know so much, like they claim to know, right? Why are they drip feeding you information? Think about that. So anyway, enhance your experience. Get access to exclusive unseen videos and personal video requests. There's a 3-day free trial and can be cancelled at any time by going to your account page. Thanks for listening today. Please press the like and the subscribe button. If you want to donate, you don't have to, but if you'd like to support the channel, you can. Links in the description box below. For more narcissism-based content, check out our other channel. Links in the description box. Please visit the forums. One of them is Tips to Heal, and I'd love to find out what helps you on your journey. Please book a healing session with me if you need advice or some light shed on your situation. The Empath monthly group meeting is coming up at the end of the month. Limited space is available. There's a WhatsApp group for survivors to stay in touch. I'm also doing email consultations if you need a plan of action. The links for all I've mentioned are in the description box below. To know more about You're the Best Supplier They Ever Had, why didn't they keep you around, missing you begins when they see, click this video here. So anyway, I'll be back with another video soon. Peace.